Binding of Isaac. A game, well, about Isaac. It alludes to the biblical story of the same name. It's an epic tale, I might say, one about a mother watching Christian broadcast television and Isaac, the son that must kill his own mother to live. Don't believe me? Well, why don't you pick up a Bible and read it? No, really, you should, because I wouldn't know. But back to Isaac. Binding of Isaac. It's a indie game made by Edmund Macmillan, the same guy that made Super Meat Boy. And it was released September of last year. It's a wonderful game. I bought it on Steam a while back. I think it was during the holiday Steam sale last December. And it was quite a little purchase. I've already logged like over 30 hours into it. I'll post a picture because I'm that nerdy and it's gonna be awesome. But I've logged more hours into that game than most other games, even like RPGs, which is kind of funny. But Binding of Isaac, great game. Not gonna lie. A expansion was just released about 2 months or so ago, and I got that during the summer holidays, or the summer Steam sale. And again, great purchase. It not only lengthens the game, it adds new bosses, new items and characters and stuff like that, and it just makes it even better. Most of the footage that I shot was pre-expansion, so it's mostly just regular Binding of Isaac stuff. But that's okay. I mean, maybe if this goes well enough, I'll make a little separate video just for the expansion. But the Binding of Isaac, here it is. 34 hours to be exact. Yup. And look at all those achievements I unlocked, because I'm kind of a badass.
As his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved. I will do my best to save him, my lord, Isaac's mother replied. To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son, Isaac, will be this sacrifice. Yes, Lord, she replied.
Bitch.
Grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen, and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
This is the character select screen, and from here you can choose your character. Now, each one has different traits, including health, speed, and damage. Now, Cain is my personal favorite to play as, and Isaac's probably my second. So right there you saw the controls, so you basically move around with WASD and the arrow keys to shoot tears out of your eyes. The controls are really simple and basic. You can press the space button to use your item that you have. Right now it's a heart that grants you a heart, but shift also uses bombs, and you can collect items from bosses that you beat. Right there, there's a coat hanger that grants you tears up. And each item gives you some sort of benefit or perk to make you stronger and defeat more enemies easily. Each boss you beat, you go deeper down a level, and I hate that. There's no keys in that chest. It's gay as hell. But right now I'm just running around. The basic idea is trying to clear each level by beating the boss at the end. And right there I got little Chad. He gives me more hearts. And this character, she's really slow, but she has a lot of health and she can take a lot of hits, so she's definitely more of a defensive character to play as. I think having maybe Isaac or Cain gives you a little more benefits than playing as her, because she's a little bit weaker and slower, and it's hard to maneuver around and dodge some shots. But you see I take out that person, and those are soul hearts. Those bluish ones, they're kind of just temporary hearts, they're not permanent. The Binding of Isaac is an interesting game. It has all these biblical references in it, right there being the crown of thorns that Jesus wore. And right here is another boss. It's a huge lump of meat. It's very, 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 very sexy. And he spawns these little things that shoot bullets at you. He is a relatively easy boss, though. You just kind of have to learn his pattern, and you can defeat him easily. Yet I still get hit. Why is that? And the bitch dies, and breakfast for me. Yummy, yummy. HP up. And right here's a mini boss. There probably at least one per level. Sometimes there isn't always a mini boss, but right here it's Pride, and there's several other different ones. And the Chariot is a very good tarot card. I just used it right there stupidly. And right here I am accessing a secret room. There are usually one of these on each floor, and they offer items or money sometimes, and they're really fun to like find and discover, and they're really helpful usually. And this boss, he breaks up into little tiny pieces when you hit him, and those annoying slug things. And of course I get more dinner food, and I have a ridiculous amount of hearts. I wish I got this many hearts when I was like a player with like low hearts. Like Judas has only like 1 or 2, I think. That's really low amount. And these creepy brains crawl around and they leave like acid blood on the floor. And right here's an item room, and for some reason I buy the dynamite. I don't know why I buy that. It's an awful item. Yes, stick with the deck of cards, please. And these guys are really creepy. These guys follow you around, and you have to hit them from behind in their brain part. The trick is to like kind of like run around them and then like blast them. There is a odd mushroom, and it makes my head really big, but it gives you damage up. And there is another mini boss, Lust. The interesting thing about making your head bigger with that with the mushroom, it increases your hit zone, so you can get hit right there easily. You can get hit in the head, you know, like it's harder to dodge. And right here, there's slot machines in the games, and you can put a penny in to bet. And sometimes I just get tired of it and I blow it up and you get stuff, which is awesome. Here is another boss, and he's just pretty much the version 2, and he shoots friggin' lasers out of his mouth. I'm a fire, I'm a laser. Yeah, kill that bitch. Oh, I get some of these panties. Mom's underwear. That's kind of creepy. Mom's underwear. Here's another item. The Spelunker hat, and it shows you through doors. And these things are some of my favorite enemies in the game, because they are laser vagina faces, and they look like vaginas, and they shoot lasers out of their vagina. And these tarot cards are really interesting. There's about, I think, like around 20 in the game. And for some reason I use the High Priestess card, which causes Mom's foot to stomp down. And here's another mini boss, Wrath. He's kind of like a Bomberman type boss. He just throws bombs at you. And I'm just gonna skip ahead to Mom right here. Mom is actually not too difficult of a boss, but she spawns enemies, which can be problematic, and if you don't have strong tiers, you're kind of fucked. Right now, I just got a shit ton of hearts, and I just have to dodge for my life. And kill these guys that keep spawning. I'm down to half a heart right here. I just gotta keep dodging these little bitches. Come on now, I can do it. I can do it. Yes, I am almost there. She is down to like, oh fuck, fucking died. Lame sauce. This game can be brutally difficult at some points. I mean, sometimes it's just unfair. I mean, it just all depends on the items you get and like the perks and stuff and the tarot cards, the pills, just everything. It's just really complicated, and if you're really good, you can just kind of like skill your way through everything, but then again, you kind of need some of these power-ups to help you through some of the harder bosses. It especially helps if you have a better defense than offense, I might say, usually, because you can take a lot of hits. Sometimes it's better to have a better like tier to health ratio, but I don't know, it's tricky, and it just all depends. The game's really random and spawns all these different random scenarios. That's what I love about it. It's new every time. You get different power-ups, get different pills, play with a different character. It's just a lot of stuff you can do in the game, and it's really awesome. Now I am playing as Isaac, and funny enough, I get the Lucky Foot, which is the starting item that Cain starts out with. And it pretty much prevents you from getting any bad pills, which is a really nice thing, because there's nothing worse than getting a pill and getting like tears down. I want to scream when that happens. Of course, that boss is disposed of easily. He's probably the easiest boss in the game. There are challenge rooms in the game too. They present these treasure chests in the middle, and you open them up and you get various things depending on whatever's in the chest. And once you open it up, you have to fight off like 2 or 3 rounds of enemies in order to leave the room. And there's these annoying people that chase you around and do shit. And right there is the Anarchist Cookbook. It's an interesting item that spawns several different bombs around you. And I bought Mom's Eye, which is a interesting item too. It spits tears out of the back of your head, and it's pretty badass. Of course, this little guy. Let's blow this asshole up with the cookbook. And I'm sorry about the lag. It's laggy at some points, and I'm sorry. It's just the recording and everything. But I get HP up again. And here's another challenge room, but of course I don't have any damn keys. I swear, just every time that happens, I want to like be like, where are the damn keys? And look, it just teases me with another treasure chest. And here's this guy again. Right here, I'm gonna use a couple tarot cards. Death, which just like knocks out some health and kills the enemies really easily. And here's the chariot, which is a useful item, but I didn't use it really well right there. But I dispose of them easily. That little sack of meat. Sack of intestines. Yay, Mom's underwear again. What is their obsession with Mom's panties? The music in the game is really awesome too. It has these really cool scores in it. It's a great soundtrack. I hum to it sometimes. It's that cool. It might not be good as Bastion's, but it's still pretty damn good, especially for like a game like that. It's really great. And of course I fucking die again. And here's another item shop just to show you. Right now I'm playing as Eve. I wish I had enough for the battery. That is actually a good item. And interesting thing about Eve, she starts out with that bird thing, and if you get hit, it detaches off your head and attacks enemies for you, which is actually pretty nifty. And here's a tarot card that instantly transports you to the secret room. It's a pretty uneventful secret room, only 3 pennies. Why don't you step it up a bit? This is a pretty interesting boss. He's like a flying horseman. and he spawns monsters. Eventually, you cut off his like body, and he just shoots you with his head. And right now, I turned into the Whore of Babylon, which you get half the heart that you change into. And of course, I die, but right now we're just gonna skip ahead to Mom. Me actually killing her, hopefully, right? So this time I'm definitely more prepared. I have definitely more offensive items that will help me dispose of Mother. And she's not too difficult once you like get her pattern down and actually able to kill off some of her enemies that she spawns. And I don't know why I should be using a couple more bombs because I have a bunch, but like I said, just didn't really need it so much. And I have the Chariot too, which is a great tarot card that's also kind of helped me kill her really easily. But we still killed that bitch. Yes, we've killed Mom, but wait, she's still alive. We have to destroy the heart. We must rip it out of her chest and squeeze it until it oozes victory. So we press on further into Mother's womb, actually. And right here is Greed. Greed's an interesting little mini-boss, because if you get hit, you lose pennies. And when you kill him, you get a lot of pennies and a dime. So this is Mother's womb. It's definitely the hardest part. The enemies get a lot tougher, and there's a lot more of them. But as long as you have a decent offense, you have a chance. And right here, I just want to fast forward through me going through a slot machine, and it blows up because you used it so much. And I used like at least like 20 or so pennies in there. And here is another boss. Now this footage is actually the only footage I used from the expansion pack. It's because I didn't have any footage of me beating Mom's heart, so that's why. And that bitch dies, and I'm already maxed out speed there anyways, so it's kind of useless. And I'm just running along. I'm just kind of trying to show you some enemy variety right now. And here's a crazy laser eye guy. He needs to die. There we are. And here's Mom's heart, actually. And it's not too bad. I actually find it easier than Mom herself in certain aspects, because the heart never stays and you never like get surprised with her hand sticking out of the wall. But if you have a bunch of bombs, you can kind of just place it right there and it will help take care of her health and some of the enemies she spawns too. And those stupid leech things are annoying. But she can definitely take a lot of hits, that's for sure. And yes, that is poop on my head, in case you were wondering. And she throws out those annoying blood bomb things, but thankfully she finally dies. That bitch. And of course, we get to open the chest. Da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na. Mom's heart has been crushed. And Isaac, well, it just all depends on how many times you've beaten the game and all those other factors, but Isaac, he'll be back. He will be back with vengeance.